Buckle up and get ready for a roller coaster ride of some tasteless humor, lots of heart, and radical truth with two scrappy chicks. Because adulting is hard, but we are thinking that laughing about it is just so much easier. Hello, we are back, and I am going to let Marie start off since she was MIA last week. Hit it.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is doing really well. It's been quite an interesting week, hasn't it? So, I did want to touch base with everyone. I attended this really awesome holistic health fair in Naperville, Illinois on November the 16th, which was a Sunday. And they had over 200 vendors. It was massive and it was so much fun. I will be sure to include the website link. Although this event has passed, you'll be able to see the complete list of all the vendors that attended and learn more about each one because there's a link in there for each one as well. So you can learn more about that particular vendor and their specialty. And they are vast from A to Z, every type of physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, wellness, health, and healing. It was phenomenal. And you get to meet so many very interesting people from all walks of life. And there's just so much to see and learn about in so many different areas, like I was saying. And I just was so happy, and I had the great pleasure to be there helping to represent Path to Wellness Center in Lake Barrington, Illinois, which features the energy enhancement system. I personally go every single week without fail. I'm there about 2 to 3 hours a week. And I know it has been making such a huge difference for me. And if any of you are out there and you are currently doing sessions with the EE enhancement system, I'd be interested to hear about your experiences. And I know we were talking, lately about the different types of books that we've been looking at, the ones that we have found really interesting, insightful, helpful. I'm going to change gears for a minute because this is just something that has really been at the forefront and something that I personally have been experiencing over the past, I don't know, 5, 6 years, if not longer, which is family estrangement. And I think I'd like to start a series with that because tragically, family, or rather parent-child estrangement, appears to be the new virtue signaling for some hapless generations who believe they can blame their parents for all their own failures and an inability to mature emotionally and hold an adult conversation, difficult conversations where other people have differing views and opinions and viewpoints. These younger generations, I'm Gen X, so I'm just saying we're pretty tough and we're pretty straightforward. And we have been pretty tolerant because like every parent, you love your children until you get to that point with a Gen Xer and we're like, okay, here's the line. You will go here and no further. We're done. Um, I know there are a lot of people out there, parents, moms, dads, but I think especially moms, this really does seem to be targeted more at the mothers because, we haven't done enough, we haven't sacrificed enough. And now these kids who are going on no contact, or even better, your child's partner or spouse deems it necessary for your son or daughter to go no contact, because that's just how they're going to control that child and keep them away from you. Because in my instance, I had great relationships with my children. Now, were they perfect? No. Did we have difficulties? We sure the heck did. You had heard about some of the things that I had gone through. And unfortunately, my children were not spared from a lot of the stuff that happened in the same vein or on the same token. It was only and specifically my desire and my drive to get myself and get my children into a better space and into a safe space, stable space, and to better myself and to provide stability for my children any way that I could. And I did it alone. And that was not easy, but that was my job. And I did the job that I could to the best of my ability with what I had before me. What options there were not great. On the same token, I never gave up. I kept moving forward. And my children are all grown. I did the best that I could for them. And if my best wasn't good enough for them, oh well, there's nothing I can do to change it now. And I think a lot of parents fall into the trap of this moving goalpost that this new, tragically evil and, in my opinion, sadistic trend is to tell a parent, especially the moms, how they should feel, how they should react, and how they need to talk to their child, their adult child. Because, again, like I said, they can't handle a differing view. They can't handle your opinion. They can't handle you telling them, I don't agree with you. That's not how I see this. So, with that being said, we are looking into, Ginger and I were talking about this, starting a support group specifically for parents. Yes, moms and dads. Like I said, although I do feel this is more targeted against moms, because I think we're just a soft target, right? Easy target, low hanging fruit. Because a lot of dads out there won't put up with this crap. The moms, on the other hand, we've been a lot more tolerant and put up with a lot more. But with that being said, there are dads out there who have done all they could, the best that they could with what they had, where they were at, and don't know why, but the kids tend to gravitate towards the more toxic parent. And that is true for one of my children, for the parent that was the abuser, the one that refused to work, the one that kept us financially in poverty. And every single day was a new nightmare. That person all of a sudden gets to have all this contact because why? I don't know. Again, it's the upside down world. It makes absolutely no sense. And the person that was me that supported them and was there for them at every turn, whatever I could to help them, support them, to feel encouraged, because I knew what it was to not have the support and encouragement from parents or from siblings growing up. And I just didn't ever want my children to feel that way. So yeah, I probably overcompensated and did too much. So now at this point, I've just said, okay, let them, let me. So now I have to keep moving forward in my peace, in my healthier relationships where I have much stronger boundaries. And I know all parents would love to be able to reconcile with their children. I don't know if that will happen or how that could happen, aside from these adult children who are in their 30s and 40s to finally take a look in the mirror, own up to their own issues, take accountability, responsibility, and come to the parents proper and with a real sense of honesty and being able to work out the issues, because past is the past and there's only now and moving forward. And I truly, truly hope that whoever is hearing this is not in a situation where they feel alone. Because I think for many years, people really didn't talk about this because I think everyone truly thought, well, it's got to be just me. And as time goes on, and I have to really commend the men and the women out there who have been speaking out, especially more recently, past couple of years, about what they're going through, that it's been much more, I don't want to say acceptable, but certainly much more listened to. People will take you seriously now, where they're like, oh, okay. Because I think the false belief is, well, if your children aren't talking to you, well, you must have been a horrible parent. You must have been. Da, 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 da. Not necessarily. Now, I'm not saying that there weren't situations like that where people had probably suffered through some pretty horrible abuse, neglect, abandonment, and that can't be, wished away. And there are some people that probably shouldn't have contact with anyone like that, whether it's your mother, your father, your sister, it doesn't matter. Cousins, no one should treat you horribly. And to that, I say to, the moms and the dads that are on the receiving end of this really ridiculous trend, don't engage. Don't feed the monster because there is literally nothing that you can say or do that's going to right this ship. They have to do it themselves or not. And then I encourage you keep moving forward for yourself. What's past is the past. You can't change it. All we have is right now and moving forward. And that's where I'm focused. Um, but again, this is something that we were talking about because it's just so prevalent now to maybe do a group where we can provide resources and just everyday support to be like, yep, you're not crazy. You are definitely on the receiving end of some really horrible treatment. And I truly hope that there can be reconciliation and healing I mean, gosh, I wish that for everybody. I just don't know how realistic that is. Seeing as when things happen, it's just, you just can't go back to the way things were. There has to be a way to forge forward. And I don't think parents can take any more accountability or responsibility. They did the best they could with what they had where they were at. And again, if that's not good enough, it's not good enough. It's nothing you can say or do to change it. Um, no life was perfect. I know I didn't have the perfect parents growing up. I didn't have the perfect childhood, and I certainly didn't have the best options. And I know many mothers and many fathers out there in the same situation that did the best they could with, a volatile partner, spouse, toxic. They did the best they could to take care of their children and protect them. And no, it wasn't perfect. I'm sure we all made our share of mistakes. On the same token, we're not going to pay forever for them. At least I'm not going to. Nope, I won't do it. And so that's what I have to say on that. If you guys have anything that you'd like to add or any short stories you'd like to share, or if you want to come on the show and be interviewed and tell about your story, if you maybe know of some resources and support that's out there for these estranged parents. The kids are getting their support from unfortunately, there are some therapists that are encouraging us. And there was one woman that I actually saw that said, if your adult child comes to you and says, oh, my therapist says you're a narcissist, yeah, find out who that therapist is and get their number and report them. And that's what I would do. Ginger knows me. Um, when I'm done, I'm done. And I hope that everybody can do that. When I say done, I mean let them. You truly have to let them because it's better for you to accept what is and then move forward. What do you think, Ginger?
Yes. Yes. I've been
Is
listening.
that is that pasta ready?
Yes.
She's making dinner. So it's ditalini
Yeah. To
and
go with
what?
cabbage soup.
Oh, yum.
Yeah. So yeah, I try to multitask here.
I added dads to this too because I know your husband has been going through this too. So it's not
Hmm.
exclusive to women.
Hmm.
And it's tragic because
Yeah. Um,
he's
these
there. He's been there. They just
Yes.
absolutely refuse to deal with him. And he's not done anything wrong.
No. And maybe he'll come on and talk about it. Um,
Yeah, you can ask him.
yeah,
But
that's his
yeah, because I
story.
know we talked about that group, so we can look into that. I don't know where we would probably do that. Maybe do a live and have a meeting that way. Could be TikTok, could be Facebook, who knows?
Yeah. Um, hmm. So, like you were saying, been a crazy week. I mean, if you listen to past episodes, you know that I lost my two cats within 3 weeks of each other, so that's been hard. Still working through the grief, because it still seems like it's not real. So I guess I'm probably in the denial stage still, and would so in a heartbeat take another cat. Have been offered, but
Yes, you have.
I'm not ready. We put the litter box up in the attic so I wouldn't have to look at it. And my husband wants to get a female dog, which I have no problem with that since I got Dexter because I love my boy dogs. And then maybe I'll get a cat. But you know what's funny? Speaking of cats, I can't remember which group this was, but the guy, I think he was a local Illinois, was looking to rehome his cat. And the cat he got with his late wife, she passed away. So now he has a girlfriend and she's allergic to cats and he wants to rehome the cat. And we're all like, rehome the girlfriend. Because we're all like, why would you rehome the cat? That's something you had with, your late wife. And he got a little offended of people saying that rehome the girlfriend, but it's like there's no way I like if I had an animal and my spouse died, I would not be rehoming the animal. And there are ways around allergies. Some people lie and say they're allergic, but they're really not. But there are ways around it that you know they could make it work. But yeah, I don't know if I forwarded it to you, but that guy he
No.
was getting more heat than anything, and I was dying it. Everyone's
Well, and
saying rehome the girlfriend.
you know, you made a good point about the allergy thing because you know about the Amber's cat when she had a roommate. She still has the same two cats. That there was a roommate that was allergic to the cats. But when she changed their cat food to a higher quality cat food, all of a
Hmm.
sudden that person no longer was allergic to the cats. And I'll tell you something. Our good friend Lynn was saying, she was highly allergic to cats and she didn't want to come by me because, I have more than one. And she even said, when I come to your home, I have absolutely no reaction whatsoever because we feed them a much higher grade, more natural diet. And I do believe that affects, obviously, just like with us, it affects their overall health.
Yeah. So, um, and it's funny. My one of my brother-in-laws, he claimed he was allergic to cats, and all they had was dogs. And then they got this really cool cat, and I was like, "Huh, that's amazing." He's not allergic. and and then my sister got more because somehow it's got to be a thing with us. Somehow these cats showed up at where she worked, these kittens, and she took them in. I know there's a cat. I think there's two cats that are hanging around here. One is gray and one is orange like, and they're like either sleeping under the shed or the bushes. And then the other night I caught on camera, I was like, that is no cat, that is a fox. So I don't know what the fox was looking for, but my husband said they don't, he says they don't kill to eat. But I found that interesting because there was one time in the backyard I caught on camera 5 in the morning, two fox just staring at the shed, and that's where bunnies are. And I'm like, how the heck did they get over our fence? Well, like a bunny, they can go underneath the fence if there's enough room. So I was like, okay, animal kingdom here, you know. And I swear one time, I tell you, I'm like, hey, there was this animal and this animal. I swear there was a possum uh, in the yard, and he's like, you sure it wasn't a cat? And I kept playing the camera, you know, the video, and I'm like, no, that was a possum. This thing, it had that long hairless tail. Yeah, that was not a cat. So so now I'm careful. I check the camera to see if there's any, you know, wild kingdom going on before I let Dexter out because um knock on wood, haven't had um the smelly animal already dealt with that once with another dog of ours that we had. So I'm just very careful, but Dexter's funny. He goes out on the patio and he starts doing a scan, like back and forth, you know, like he's doing radar. And if there's a bunny, he goes running, and they're faster than him, and they get underneath the fence. But I like how we just start talking about cats and just go on other things. Um, but getting back to what I was talking about, grief. Um, a family member of mine um, is recovering from a stroke, doing quite well. And a friend of mine, someone close to her, um, had a heart attack, and I'm waiting to hear the update. And it just, I don't know. My husband made a good point. He said, you know, we're like the last wedding we went to was a year ago. And then I went to a baby shower a year ago. Or is it 2 years ago? 2 years ago for the wedding. And then a year ago, no, it was, yeah, oh my gosh. A year ago for the wedding. And then a couple months ago was the baby shower. Okay. But he made a point. He's like, you know, we're going to be going to more funerals now because we're at that age. And it's scary. And just with what happened to my family member and what my friend's going through, it just really hits you, and you got to take a step back and realize you never know. If you wake up every day, that's a gift. And you never know. So I mean, here we're talking about the estrangement, and I feel like I did the best I could to avoid it. And I mean, family or not, I mean, I don't know. I have no really true explanation why there's estrangement. It My dad had it with his siblings. My mom, not so much. Just there's certain ones she just didn't want to deal with. But with my dad, it was always, you know, something, you know, argument, disagreement, and it's sad. My dad died, and his brother was upset that he wasn't able to see him before he passed, and my mom's like, well, I'm sorry, he didn't want, you know, to see you, which is sad. And my mom said, you really missed on knowing a wonderful family, which, you know, breaks my heart. And A couple years ago, I was able to see that uncle because my aunt passed away, my dad's sister, and he apologized to me and said, I am so sorry. And if I could go back and change things, I would, and I wouldn't have done what I did. And, we would have had a better relationship. And, I forgave him. I get it, just getting that apology was, you know, something special. And he, he lived long. Those Italians, I tell you, they know how to live long. And, I
The
am.
garlic and olive oil,
Yeah, and onions. Um, I am looking, I know,
tomatoes, and it's all good.
yeah, but I am looking into possibly getting Italian citizenship. Um, Although I heard it's costly, but it's just interesting though, the thought of it. Never been there, would like to go there. So I guess I could put that on my vision board. I'll have to find a picture of Italy and put it on there. Uh, I hear from a lot of people, like when you go there, oh my God, we eat, we eat, we eat. And, but people are like, but we don't get sick like we do here. The food there is more fresh than here. It's like, I don't know what the heck, they're putting.
Well, they don't do the GMO 3D printing meats, vegetables. This United States has been completely corrupt and just completely ruined. And it's coming out now that chicken that's been coming into this country is not even real.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
and they don't do this in other countries. So I've heard that not only about Italy, but about Poland. Because I knew a woman that went to Poland. She was there for almost 2 weeks, and she's like, she lost 10 pounds, and they were eating, you know, the
mm-hmm.
sausages every day. They were having the pierogi, they were drinking, and she's like, and then when she came back within 5 days, she got her belly bloat back again, and she said, it's this country, it's the food here. It's not like the other.
Right. So anyway, back to estrangement. Like I said, just if you feel that there is a way to repair, I I highly recommend it. And if not, like you're talking about our group, you know, join our group. And one thing, um, my older sister said to me, I had said to her, I don't understand. I don't know why. And she said, quit beating yourself up about it. Um, you didn't do anything. And, pretty much just tell me, just let it go. And that's very hard for me to do that, because I'm so emotional, I'm so sensitive, and you know, like I want to know the why. What did I do? What did I do? But I'm getting to the point where I don't care anymore. I sent one sister congratulations on your retirement, and I that's how my mama raised me, to be kind. And I thought that's a monumental moment in her life, and I thought she should be recognized. And I did not get anything back, and I didn't expect it because I'm just like, okay. But when my sister-in-law's mom passed, I sent a sympathy card, and I did not expect anything back. And then I was very shocked that I did get a thank you back. And I was like, wow. So I guess not everybody, I don't know, not everybody is receptive. It's just, I feel like my sister doesn't remember that we all lost my mom, not just her. She's just not been the same since my mom's been gone. So, but we'll get into family estrangement more. Set up a group. Um, I'm trying to think what else was I going to talk about. Oh, I have some issues. I'm getting, therapy for. I do not like to drive in the dark. Two reasons. Where I grew up, it was like well lit in the suburbs. Well, when you go an hour south, it is dark, especially when you want to take the back roads. So I have disliked driving in the dark. I was also hit by a drunk driver when I was a teenager. So driving in the rain in the dark, yeah, it's kind of stuck with me. And then 2 years ago, before I got my cataract surgery, I almost hit a median driving in the dark. And after that, I was like, I am not driving in the dark till I get my eyes done. So eyes are great. I only need readers, but I was still having that fear of driving in the dark. And well, last week I did it 3 times during the week, and I'm just like, gotta do it. And um, exposure therapy, when you're afraid of something, is the best way to get over it. Because my other issue is car washes. I have a phobia of closed spaces, and I think it comes from the abuse that I endured in my first marriage. And car washes was not my thing. I always felt I could never get my car on aligned. And being in the car wash, what I'm like, what if it stops? I'm going to be stuck in here. And you know, what if the car in front of me stops and I hit it? Because you're in neutral, or the car behind you. And um, here I thought it was like 5 minutes, but I recorded it. It was like 2 to 3 minutes. So I'll probably be releasing the recording of me going through the car wash. And that's a big deal because I went by myself, and I let my husband know. I says, guess what I did? You'll never guess what I did. Something that you wouldn't think I would do. And he's like, what? And I says, I went through the car wash. And he laughed. He goes, did they drive it for you through there? I said, no, I have video proving I was in the car. So it wasn't so bad. So I think I can do it again
I,
and not be so scared. Because I
I
know
think
you
you can
love it
too. I
so
saw you in
much.
the, yes, I do. Like, let me tell you, they should have 5-minute car washes or longer. And I miss the disco lights over here at our local car wash because I think I told you if I had the fun, I would get the monthly membership where you get unlimited car
Yes.
washes, and I'd probably go every other. I would. I would go every other day. I just find it so soothing, so relaxing. Missing the disco lights, but still, I find it soothing.
Yeah.
And your video, so I can attest firsthand that you were, in fact, in your car going through the car wash, and you did just great.
Yes, I will share the video. I'll put it on TikTok. Obviously, there's got to be other people who are afraid. I've heard horror stories of people getting stuck or their vehicle scratched and this and that. And I was just like, God, I don't want to hear that. So, so yeah, that I am really stepping out of my comfort zone. And, to people, this might seem very minor, but this is a big deal for me.
And don't you feel great that you did it?
Yes, and that my car is nice and clean. And
Yes.
and
Oh,
their
yes.
vacuums. Do you use their vacuums? The vacuums are like really powerful,
I know.
and
They're
they're free.
amazing. I know. Yes, they are. And you and I were talking over the weekend too of how nice it is to have things that are clean,
Yeah.
especially like your car and your home. Like
Um,
my mental mindset is just so much happier, calmer when everything is clean. I think that's why I've taken the car wash. I love having clean home, clean car.
yeah. Oh, I was like, there was something funny I was going to share. Yeah, one of my customer, they were getting pipe work done, so couldn't use their bathroom, and I was like, I gotta go. So I peed in a water bottle, this, disposable one, not my drinking bottle. Got it all over my hand and stuff, and of course it was over the toilet, and I told my customer, and they were laughing. They're like, "You didn't have to do it. You could have just done it." And then I didn't know that the guys would finish up like an hour later. Um, and then I could have went back and flushed. But yeah, we all got a good laugh about that.
Yeah, you're too funny. Do you think you're a man that you can pee in a water bottle?
No, I almost need
Um,
to order the portable Jane on Amazon.
oh, yeah, maybe. Why not, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing we should do is share what we got on Amazon that we think is cool. And then shows like, because we're going to have to wrap this up soon, but like shows that we're watching. Landman is in their second season. That is a good show to
Love,
watch.
love. Well, okay. I do like the show, and really what makes it palatable for me is Billy Bob Thornton. Otherwise, I find it very sophomoric, very what do you call it? Like frat boy. But I love Billy Bob. He's great. I'll watch anything he's in.
Yes.
Like
I,
Goliath. Did you ever see Goliath with him?
no.
Ah, love that. But let me go really quick to what I got off of Amazon that I love. My tuning forks with the frequency.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I have my 128 over here. Ding. It's amazing. Truly. I mean, I honestly didn't think it would make a difference. It does. It really does.
I forgot to tell you that I played those a video of the bowls, and I was like falling asleep. But the only thing that was bothering me is with YouTube on your phone, you have to keep it open. And
Well,
I'm a
can't you do
freak.
it? Isn't there a TV in your room?
Yes. So
That's what
I'll
I
have to
do.
do that with the timer because I'm a freak.
Yeah.
I need it dark. So, but that did work.
Oh,
Oh,
no, I'll send you the ones that I watch because there is the sound bowls that are black screen 100%.
yes. And then the other thing, update on my sleeping. It is going much better. I am sleeping a little longer. And according to my watch, my sleep score was like in the 90s. So yeah, I'm doing better.
So what do you think the difference is?
Um, the magnesium, I saw a doctor and he says you should take one in the morning and one at night, about 550 a day, 550 milligrams.
And you think that that's made the difference for you, taking
I
that
think
higher
so.
dose?
And then cutting off my last drink and drinking something that makes me sleepy. So then I won't drink as much. And no, I have not wet the bed.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, we are getting to a point where we need to wrap this up. So if you have any suggestions, if you'd like to comment, please share, follow, subscribe, support us any way you can. We appreciate you. Everyone who's already listening and downloading, can tell you how much we appreciate you. We want to hear from you.
write a
Let us know your
review.
thoughts. Yes, do a review. Let us know your thoughts. And again, if you would like to be interviewed on any of the topics that we've covered so far.
Yes. Oh, and this
Or
is
recommendations.
Thanksgiving week. So everyone have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Take care. We love our scrappy peeps. So thank you all for joining us and becoming part of our flock. So please like, subscribe, and share. And if you don't like us, unfortunately, yo mama. But if you do like us, we look forward to seeing you next time on Two Scrappy Chicks.